Hey guys, it's Vicki with kiltedpaw. Happy Friday. Hope you all are doing well. If you're having a good day. It's maybe 2 o'clock here in Colorado right now. So I thought I would sit down and try and knock out a couple bracelets that I had ideas for, and I had been saying that I was going to do that. So I was just in the process of gathering the beads that I thought I would want to use in this. I'm gonna make one that reminds me, at least with these colors, of either the Colorado sky or what I've seen pictures of for the Scottish sky. I've never been there, but would like to go. Just that bright, clear blue and those white clouds and how they contrast so well together. So that's what I'm shooting for. We will see. I'm just pulling on a few different varieties of, because sometimes seed beads, especially the tiny little seed beads, they're not always cut the same. And so some will be a little longer than others. Some are more flat and short. I try and keep them, you know, as even as possible in the bracelets. And I'm just putting them in a cup, and then I'll pour them back in once I have everything I need. So today's Friday, and I'm getting excited because tomorrow and Sunday here in Elizabeth, Colorado, is our Celtic festival. It's called the Elizabeth Celtic Festival. You can find it online. They've got a website and a Facebook page. I don't know if they have a YouTube channel or not. Anyway, if you live in the area and you've never been, and you're close, you should definitely check it out. This will be our second year going. It's only going into my second year of living in Elizabeth, and we went last year, and it was so much fun. And it was even very rainy, extremely rainy, which tends to happen a lot in Colorado. Whenever we go to a festival, it's raining. If we go to Estes Park in September, it could be snowing. It just really depends, but gives you the good vibes. But this weekend they want it to be really nice. So if you're in the area, check it out. It's pretty cheap. I can't remember. Might be 15 bucks to get in. I know they do a military discount as well, but that's all I remember. Don't see anything else in there I want. I'm gonna get just a couple more. If they're in here, yeah, there they are. These faceted blue ones. This is a charm bead mix that I got at Hobby Lobby in their seed bead section. I mentioned it yesterday. I have the blue and I have the purple. But there's a lot in there, a lot of variety. Okay, that looks good. Now we just need some white seed beads and we can start stringing. We don't have to sort these, so I just need to grab some. Let's stick them over here. I'm gonna be working, I don't know, I measured my wrist. You can measure your wrist with, you know, a piece of paper and then put it against a ruler. If you have a flexible tape measure, you can do it that way. Why are we not closing? There we go. I think I have, yeah. So, you know, just one of these flexible tape measures. You can measure your wrist that way. You can do that for your ring size too. Piece of paper, and then you just measure it out once you wrap it around. But when I measured my wrist, I felt like it was like a 6.5, but I'm really more comfortable in a bracelet because I like them to be a little bit loose, you know, give a little, I don't like them tight. So I'm probably going to be working, geez, I don't know, probably with the 7.5 or 8 size on my bead board. This little bead board I got on Amazon, and it's, you know, it's nothing fancy. there were some good reviews, there were some bad reviews. Some people said that the measurement that starts at 0 and goes to like 7 inches or 8 inches all the way to 30 inches. So if you're, I like to make my bracelets in the rounded thing sometimes, just so I can visualize what that's going to look like together. But you can do that along here as well, and then just string them up. But I measured it, and it's accurate, so I don't know, some people just got a lousy board, but mine seems to be fine. It's 8 inches by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 8, really. It's wood, it's not super heavy. I do find on my desk that it slides around a little bit, plus my desk is not level, unfortunately. So I put something underneath it just to stop that from happening. This is a piece of 7mm stretch magic. It's already pre-stretched, I already stretched it out, but when you're making bracelets and you have this elasticy cord, you always want to go ahead and pre-stretch your material. And I have it in a beading needle, which is a big-eyed needle that this pretty, you know, it's a pretty thick elastic. It goes through there. You can use these with what they call bead spinners. It's a bowl, and you put your seed beads or your clay beads in there, and you turn it on or you hand spin it, and the beads just catch onto the hook and go right on up. You can string them that way. But you can also use it to do it like this as well. So before we do that though, let's figure out what I think I want this to look like, and then we'll string it up. Kind of has a little bit of a beachy look to it too, but that's not what I'm going for. But it does have the beach vibe, the blues and the whites, like the water. So I guess, you know, just like with a lot of things in crafting, you know, one person can look at a painting and see one thing, and somebody else looks at it and they see something completely different. So it's what a piece says to you. Do I like those or do I like these? Nope, I want those for sure. So I got two. I gotta put you. I was talking and not paying attention. You're gonna go there. You little guys are gonna go right there. Do two. You know, I was saying to Lori that I don't do a ton of fine motor stuff. Like I don't even write anymore. I mean, maybe to sign a check or something. But I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, the fine motor as you get older in your hands. So I'm surely hoping that my fine motor, you know, picks up a little bit, which of course it will. If you don't use those muscles in your hands, they get weak. Which it's funny because as an occupational therapist, I know that. I used to tell my patients all the time when they came in with weakness, I'm like, well, write, you know, just open up the Bible or open up the, you know, a magazine and just get a piece of paper and copy what you're seeing, and, you know, it'll strengthen your hands. And here I am. Oops, we need you. Just trying to find ones that are a little bit bigger in the seed bead department. Now I will measure this afterwards as well, because the seed beads, as you see, a lot of them are just kind of laying not exactly in the position they'll be on the string. This is just more for my visual. So I'll measure it as I go, just to make sure that it's the measurement that I want. 2, 1, and we are done. We can go ahead and string that up. But I need a drink. Everybody hydrate. It is hot, hot, hot out. I pretty much don't care where you live. I mean, you can live in Alaska. Still, remember to hydrate. Trying to drink more water. Flavored water though, with Neo, because I am not a water drinker. I always find that kind of funny too. Our bodies are made up of so much percentage of water, and yet most people do not like water. So, for whatever that's worth. All right. I've got to check the camera to make sure. Could probably move a little bit here. I would definitely hold this a touch differently if I wasn't on camera, and that's another thing too. It's like trying to, if you just sit down with your beads, you know, you have your hands however that's comfortable, but that doesn't always work on a camera, on a screen, when you're trying to have it be for somebody else. All right. Yep, that's, I like it, I like it. Put my stretch magic back through. Slide these beads on down. There we go. Get her started. And we're on the string. So since the needle's so long, I think it was like 5.5 or 5.3 inches. And you can bead a lot on here before you really have to move it. It's just not a comfortable position for me. So we've been noticing that there's been more people watching the videos and watching them for a bit longer, and subscribing, and we thank you very much for that. Gives us some encouragement. This is only, you know, maybe our solid like second week, I would say. So, you know, in a year, I could only imagine, you know, where we'll be and what kind of content we'll have created in that amount of time. So again, we do appreciate everybody who, you know, just takes the time to subscribe and like the things. Leaving comments is great. We love to wake up, especially like in the morning, waking up and going, oh my gosh, somebody left us a comment. We're meeting somebody new. So, you know, that's what life is all about, isn't it? Meeting people, meeting new people. And the internet is a great way to do that, because there's a lot of people out there who, you know, maybe don't have friends or can't get out and socialize as much as they would like to. So the internet is wonderful for that. Yeah, hey, that whole surgeon's knot too, if you've seen the other videos when I was trying to practice. I think it might have been on our live. We'll see how it goes today. I changed it up a little bit. If any of you know Kelly Prepster, she has a YouTube channel and a very successful small business, beads, all kinds of beads, anything with beading, from, you know, bracelets and all that. Necklace. I don't know if she does necklaces, but anyway, she was going over how she ties her bracelets off, so that's what I have been trying, and it seems like a pretty solid way to do your knots on your bracelets. All right, we are getting there. We're almost done. Then we'll take a measurement and tie it off and try it on. I don't have great light in here today. Like I said, it kind of got cloudy, but I'll try and take this outside because these beads just sparkle. The little white ones, they're not just regular white, they're an iridescent white. So they're really pretty. And if it's too long, you know, obviously you just repeat your pattern, add some more. If it's too short. If it's too long, you can just take some off. measure and see where we are at. I feel like it might be perfect. What's your wrist size? I heard that like people have like, especially women, like most women have like a, between like a 7 and a 7.5. I guess that's normal, but I used to think that normal shoe size was like 7 to a 7.5, and so many women have, you know, a much larger shoe size. We've kind of, so that actually is only 6.5. Let's see what that feels like. I definitely go ahead and put some more on there. Yeah, I will go just a little bit more. I'll probably go to 7, so we'll string just a few more on here. Leave it that way. Maybe just another set. Stretch magic is actually relatively easy with most beads, depending on what size stretch magic you're using. It's really quite easy to string it even without the needle. Because it's, you know, it's thicker and it's stiff. It's not like a piece of thread. All right, let's see where we are. Yep, 7.5. Perfect. So this is what it looks like. And there, and continue. See if I can, so I'll just slip her on my wrist. It just kind of has that blue and white feel. So I'm going to go ahead and tie it off. And I will post, I'll do it actually in the video. I won't post the video until I get some pictures of this, but I will have pictures like outside, just how it's going to sparkle. All right, so I, obviously, again, if you know any really good, you know, that have been doing it for a long time, not that I'm not good, but any beaders that are out there that have been doing it a long time, they are fast. Like, they can just tie their knots. I mean, they've been doing it for, you know, 10 years. So the first knot I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it down here by the beads, and I'm going to stretch this out. And I'm going to do a slip knot. So just a regular old slip knot. Push her down there and pull it to tighten it. And then I'm going to do a surgeon's knot, crossing over, and then this one is going to wrap a couple times around that string. 1 and 2. All right, and we're going to tighten that down, and then we're going to do just a regular knot. So there are 3 knots on top of each other. That's going to hold your, and plus your elastic's already been stretched out. So you're not stretching, you're not putting any excess tension, you know, on that. All right, there we go. And that's going to hold that, and then you're just going to flip the ends off. And I'm going to clip this a little bit closer, and then the knot will be hidden underneath the bracelet. So, yes, I like it. I hope you like it. I'll post some other pictures. All right, so then all of this is going to go back in here. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, and I'm going to see how long I've been going. And, well, actually, I can look. 19 minutes. Actually, I think I'm just going to call it, because Lori and I were trying to keep our videos a little bit shorter. So maybe tomorrow or later tonight, I'll go ahead and I have a ingenious idea for a bracelet that is glass purple beads and green opals and, or green jade and some silver spacers. And what I think when it's done, it's going to almost look like a thistle on the focal aspect of the bracelet. So I'll either make a separate video or I will edit it into this one. So you guys have a wonderful day. I will see if I can go get some pictures of this out in the sunlight. And thanks for watching. Leave me a comment. I really, really, really would love to get to know people and you know where you're from. If you craft, what kind of crafts do you do? Do you have any pets? Because you know, kiltedpaw, Lori and I have always been big into our pets. I have a cat too. I don't mention her very much, but I do also have a cat. She's a calico, and her name's Fuko. She's older. I would say she's probably, I think she's 15. So she spends a good chunk of her day just kind of chilling. You know, she's still active and she eats well and whatnot, but she's getting up in age. And that is all I have as pets. But yeah, I would love to know about your pets. Where you live, anything about you. Let's get to know each other. Let's network. If you have a YouTube channel and you're just starting out like we are, send us a message. Let us know, and maybe we can help each other out, right? Maybe we can do lives together with some crafting. Maybe we can collaborate on some stuff. That would be super fun. We can help each other get subscribers, you know, share kind of what we do. So, yeah, sounds good. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, and then on the subscribe thing, on the little pull-down box, ring the bell at the top for notifications, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.